Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's more MLP, Season 6, Episode 9, The Saddle Row Review. I have no idea what that title means, especially because there was an early title floating around called Saddle, Row and Reg, which only reminded me of Parks and Recreation, but I thought, how? What could that even mean? But apparently that was not the right title. It is the Saddle Row Review, and that still tells me nothing. So the only thing I can deduce is that something's getting reviewed. And Rainbow Dash is in the opening panel, but I think it might be a bit too soon to be evaluating her Wonderbolt credential. So I have no idea. Starlight maybe? But we've just had a Starlight episode. You'd think they'd space them out a little bit more, but we'll see. I've heard good things about this episode, particularly in the humorous aspect. I'll be the judge of that, although I am ridiculously easy to entertain. Anyway, no more delays, let's just get this thing started, because I'm behind enough as it is.
Come on! If we hurry, we can get there before the paper's even delivered to Rarity's house! Maybe she won't read the article!
Oh, a poor review?
Rarity's gonna read a review of her new boutique in Manhattan.
I still can't believe we all just blabbed everything that happened to that reporter! I just hope it doesn't end up being an article about how her friends almost ruined the opening.
Oh, okay.
I think you're all overreacting. Rarity's our friend. If any pony is gonna understand, it'll be her.
I was wondering when all of you were going to show up.
The salt!
Now we can all read the review together!
Oh.
I have an idea. How about we don't read it?
What she means is, before you read it, we should probably tell you about...
No, darlings. Please, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Spoilers!
I was actually looking forward to seeing some fun salt.
Now, is every pony ready to hear what I'm sure is a stellar review that describes in stunning detail exactly how each of you contributed to the successful opening of Rarity for You? Many a pony has tried their hoof at joining the ranks of the elite fashion trendsetters currently ensconced in the boutiques of Manhattan's famed Saddle Row.
Okay.
It's the ultimate achievement in equestrian fashion, and never before has a reporter been granted such unfettered, behind-the-scenes access until now. I wish it had been more fettered. I sat down with Rarity and her friends after the opening to get the inside scoop. And what a scoop it was!
A pooper scoop?
Okay, kid, you successfully opened a shop in Manhattan, and that's no mean feat. Most ponies might wonder what it feels like. Here's how it's gonna be.
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Paint a picture of how it all came together.
A word picture, mind you, not an actual picture.
Any questions?
Well, I was wondering how...
Let's get started. Ms. Rarity, you got shops all over Equestria, but this was your first time trying to make it in the big city.
He's got to be
What
Jameson.
made you think you could tackle it on your own?
Well, I wouldn't say all over Equestria. I just have two other boutiques. One
Hey, I see the movie reference that I missed before. Over there.
Still, when I decided to open this one, I was nothing but confident.
Let's just say that if I could choose, I probably wouldn't do it that way again.
Well, it wasn't the funnest party ever.
It was a plum-puckered, pig-pushing disaster.
After a lifetime of awesome, I think every pony's allowed to mess up every now and then, right? Wait, are you writing this down? It didn't go exactly how I thought it would, but it, started out all right.
Oh, I love the way she's moving that around.
Welcome to Saddle Row, an entire street lined with the most fashionable...
Alright, so this is mostly flashback.
If it's supposed to be
Intriguing.
the most fashionable block of shops, where's Stinky Bottom's Discount Hat Emporium?
I suppose it didn't make the cut. Here it is! Rarity for you!
Yay!
Rarity, it's lovely. But are you sure you'll be ready to open tonight?
Dust ponies need to be a thing now.
My clothes arrive soon, my sales associate after that, and with a little dusting, we'll be ready for the grand opening tonight.
Rarity, so good to see you.
Who are you?
Sure, it's going to be a very good place, I think.
Mr. Stripes owns the building.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
very pleasant landlord. Although he can be pushy at times. Okay, all the time.
You've met my daughter? The apple of my ear. The hay in
Ear?
my hoof. You will let her work with you.
It's just, I'm dreadfully busy preparing for tonight's grand opening. As you can see,
There are only two things I love more than being pushy. One is my daughter. The other is miniature doll furniture. And I would sell my entire mini furniture collection to make my daughter happy. You understand?
Personal space.
I don't think it's going to be possible.
Let me say...
I love how he admitted that he's pushy, though.
Or I raise rent until you no can afford.
Oh, welcome aboard.
What an asshole.
First idea, instead of clothes, we sell glow-in-the-dark teeth. Like this. But they glow in the dark. Golly, what a splendid idea. Glow-in-the-dark teeth. What was she thinking? Your assistance is required in the stockroom post-haste.
There's a killer bee's nest in here.
Aw, hello. But what are they doing here? Smokey made too much noise eating garbage, so Softpad's mother made them move out of the trash can. Then Smokey Jr. found a new
Aww.
crawl space behind the building, but Mr. Stripes demolished it, so they were temporarily camped out in the back until they found a new place to live.
That's adorable.
I can't have a family of rubbish-scented raccoons living in my boutique. Did you hear that? Turns out there's a Club Pony party palace upstairs. Turns out there's a Club Pony
You love it. So this is all about the drawbacks of getting a new place. Like, there's all sorts of things going wrong with it. Hey, you! You were very rude to my sister.
I'm sorry. Could you please ask her to turn it down?
What?
Ask her to turn it down, please?
What?
Turn it down, please!
I'm sorry, but we don't serve mimes.
Fools today listen to their so-called music far too loud. I realize that makes me sound like an old mare. But this is business!
Oh, being real.
I wish we were having
Kids
as much
today.
fun as they are.
Well, sweeping can be fun too.
Sweep, 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 sweep,
Spoken like a true Disney princess.
sweep, sweep, sweep.
Only Twilight could make a dance remix about sweeping. I mean, how lame is that? Yeah,
That needs to
it
be
wasn't
official.
even catchy. Nope.
Sweep, 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 sweep.
Yes, remixes, please.
Apparently DJ Pone 3 has a residency at the party palace upstairs.
Of course she does.
Security won't let me speak to her. What in the name of Celestia was that?
A game
You
show.
know how most stores have a little jingle bell when the door opens? I thought we should have something with a little more pizzazz. So I installed one of Daddy's antique horns.
You, despite all this going off, we don't know what the review actually says.
We'll have to do something about that.
I'm calling it now that it's going to be a positive review and they're worrying over nothing.
The window display. Wait, is this my merchandise shipment from Ponyville? It's completely disorganized.
I feel like with all the time that's being spent on things going wrong or not being exactly as expected... Hey, Coco! It's going to go the opposite way to what we think.
I'm so glad to see you. Now, as the sole sales associate at Rarity for you, I hate to add to your already overflowing plate of responsibilities, but it looks as though we have just a tad more to do before tonight than I
The
thought.
poor thing looks like she's suffering.
Actually, I can't work tonight.
You should cover your mouth when you sneeze, darling. Rude!
Better, my sweet. We'll manage without you. Somehow. And we'll manage glowing teeth and car horns and disorganized clothes and dance music. Am I forgetting anything?
Filthy animals! Okay, another Rarity Freakout episode. I'm game.
Opening a store in Manhattan is a pretty big deal. It's natural that Rarity would be a little stressed about how it was going, since it wasn't going well.
I like
Still,
this
I think
concept.
she handled it all right.
The dream is doomed. Doomed, I tell you. Doomed.
Like the little talking head interviews and stuff. I like it. It's like a real life program.
But we've done this kind of thing before. If we all work together,
It's different.
But this is Manhattan. To make it in the fashion scene here, everything has to be perfect. The perfect location, the perfect clothes, the perfect opening.
maybe we should just postpone.
Postpone? Darling, tonight is the last night of the fall season. If we don't open tonight, it won't be...
Perfect.
Yes, I know what needs to be done. I just need more of me. Oh, how I wish I could make copies of myself.
Yeah. Making copies of yourself always sounds like a great idea, but before
Too
you know
many
it, you're locked
Pinkies.
in a room with 50 Pinkie Pies watching paint dry.
We can do it.
Oh my god, really?
True to your vision.
You do that?
That better not be a throwaway. One better have escaped.
Smelling raccoons for me?
Of course. Leave plaid straps to
And I assume that's the previous episode reference people are going crazy over.
And I can go upstairs to that non-stop...
The effect might be lessened because I was expecting it.
Make them be quiet.
I'm pretty sure I know some pony who wouldn't mind organizing this merchandise shipment for you.
But that was still a legendary reference.
I'm talking
Such a
about
great
myself.
one. I am listening.
Oh, please let me organize it.
This all sounds
Organizing is a
I
drug.
have a single employee, and I'll need the best of the best.
Leave the hiring to me.
Oh, this is it, my dears.
Oh!
Handle these problems. I'll focus
More
on the design of
adorableness.
that window display. We'll show Manhattan what Rarity for you is all about. Oh,
Rarity.
what would I do without
And being there for you.
What would she do without us? Let me think. Darlings, I'm absolutely doomed. Doomed.
This is Rarity Dash's favourite scene of the episode.
I sounded just like her. Hey, you're not writing this down, are you?
You've asked that twice, dear.
perfect window display.
Oh, I'm talking like Rarity now. I'm calling everyone dear. That pony's cool. I'm expecting lots of fan art with her doing dancey stuff.
In the middle of mega happy fun times, can I?
Oh, what would Rarity want?
Keep that party going till the break of dawn.
Oh, this episode's good.
Indubitably. And as for the roof, get jiggy. Raise it, Pinkie.
Get
Raise it
jiggy.
like you've never raised it before.
Never thought Rarity'd say that.
You say so?
Oh, please, Pinkie Pie. Never in a million years would I say such balderdash.
Oh. Obviously, DJ Pone 3 only plays the sickest of beats. I just wouldn't want her to miss out on the coolest new music straight from the back alley underground zips-up party scene.
Works for me.
Play the whole thing if I were you, no matter what other ponies think.
Be a rebel. Oh my gosh.
Rarity for you is only hiring the best of the best. And to me, that means the fastest. Now, before we begin, the plan. Who can be the first one to tell me what fabric this is?
That's organza.
Are you sure?
It's a thin, plain weave, sheer fabric traditionally made from silk, so yeah.
You're the fastest.
I don't know the first thing about clothes. Pretty much all I can do is look at something and tell you if it's clothes or not. This chair? Not clothes.
Oh, Rainbow, you're amazing.
Here. What are all clothes made of?
Fabric? Bingo! But not in this store. Not anymore.
Oh no?
2 words for you. Spoon clothes. All our clothes will be made of spoons.
This girl is special.
Rarity won't. You know, I like you, Plaid Stripes. If it were up to me, we'd have a spoon clothes store right next to Stinky Bottom's Discount Hat Emporium. But it ain't up to me. So, the answer is no.
She don't like being told no.
Spoon clothes ain't such a bad idea. Useful too. Eating soup, stirring gumbo, digging little holes.
We get it, you're southern.
Although, what would Rarity want? Maybe she wouldn't like it done by color. Guess I have to start over.
Oh, lovely.
Hello,
That
Smokey.
addiction.
Soft Pad, Smokey Jr., I have some interesting news. I'd like you all to stay here forever, but what would Rarity want? You have to move out.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
A window display is the first thing customers see. And if they like it, they'll walk inside and experience the glory that is my boutique.
You can poke someone's eye out with that.
What have you to hire? Just keep guessing fabrics. Daddy, Rarity's friend doesn't like my ideas.
Spoon clothes is good idea.
Oh no, not a shopping music mashup.
Mashup. Mashups are a thing.
When you write the story, could you maybe skip over the part where we locked Rarity in the window display?
Hello? The door appears to be stuck.
Yeah, about that.
Get on it.
Well, we shouldn't let this time go to waste.
Oh, I see. Is whatever she's doing gonna save it?
Straps, no.
I asked the raccoons to leave. I asked a lot of fabric questions, just like I thought Rarity would want.
Rarity asked us to help her with everything because she knows all of us so well. She knows how much you care for animals. She'd trust you to solve the problem your way. Maybe we should all do the same. Doing this our way is what Rarity wants. It's not too late. Let's all dig in and we can fix this. Before Rarity finds out how bad we messed up.
You know, I can still hear you through the door.
I'm sorry I asked you to leave. The place is yours.
Hey, at least they're not
You
violent
can
anymore.
stay. Though I would like to ask you all just one favor.
Oh, hey, the music's off.
Unfun, super boring music. But if
I'm getting paid.
idea to make the party even better. Okay, I don't get fabric, but I do get speed, and I need some pony fast enough to help all the customers Rarity is gonna have. So, first one to the river and back gets the job. It's a race. Go!
Oh my. I bet she's gonna win.
Mr. Stripes, I owe your daughter an apology. She's got good ideas, and I should give them a chance. So here's what I'm thinking.
Lead with flattery, then bring them down. I like it.
Perfect.
Looks like we fixed that door just in time.
Oh, what's all this?
That face. Lovely.
The whole place organized by style.
So what are they worrying about?
Indexed by fabric. She'll be able to find anything in 3 seconds flat. It was some of my best work.
Some of these expressions in this episode.
I knew I could count on you. All right. I suppose this is the moment of truth.
Ding.
Rarity for you is now open.
Do you even have any money? That's what I thought.
I wasn't quite prepared for such a crowd. How will I handle them all?
My name's Blue Bobbin. I'll be your personal shopping assistant this evening.
Right this way, every pony. And one of our talented sales ponies can help you out. Honestly, they were all pretty slow, but they finished the race. Plus, they knew a lot more about fabric than I did. So, I
Yeah.
hired them all.
Ooh. Nice. This is looking like the best fashion store in the world, and I'm not even into fashion.
The way I see it, Rarity designs fashion, DJ Pone 3 designs beats. What better combination than a boutique dance club?
Pinkie, don't just place the bill on it.
After a quick bath, they were more than willing to help.
Ah, a blue corn reduction with shallot confit. But how can I possibly enjoy it without a...
Wow.
Told you spoon clothes ain't such a bad idea.
This is a sweet episode. I'm glad there was no bombastic drama in this.
This is the most whimsical and wonderfully fashionable boutique I've
This is an
ever
epic
seen.
boutique. I love it.
In the end, Rarity's grand opening was a smashing success. True, it got off to a rocky start, but somehow this ragtag group of ne'er-do-wells, oh, heavens, I think he means you, came together and created
think?
the perfect boutique, a vision of Rarity, combined with the expertise of her friends. This reporter, for one, is a believer. Why didn't you tell me there were so many problems?
We all figured you had enough on your mind.
And we didn't want you to think that the opening wasn't perfect.
Okay.
Ne'er-do-wells or not, I know I can always count on all of you, and nothing could be more perfect.
Well, I knew
than
that the review would be a good one. But I think the fandom's gonna have fun with you. Okay. So, yeah, that kind of played with my expectations a little bit. The way they were panicking over it in the beginning, it was like they'd already read it and they knew it was terrible. But I think there might have been something I missed in there, or I can't remember in there, about them not having read it yet, but they were assuming it would be bad. Because, of course, as we saw at the end, it was entirely good. So what? Were they feeling guilty about Rarity knowing about the little things that had gone wrong? I don't quite understand what their main worry was, but the only thing I can assume is they thought that all of the negative would be remembered and not any of the positive, based on what they told the interviewer. But I think this has played with their expectations. They were probably expecting him to do what media does and take all of the negative aspects of a story and push them to the forefront and show how disorganised, cluttered and disastrous everything was. But no, this guy seems to have understood the heart of the story, just like the viewer, and told it how it was, and how they turned it into a success. I approve of that, that's brilliant, and it shows integrity for the article writer himself, you know, the person doing the interview. And the comedy was good, the different interactions within the restaurant itself, Pinkie being a lovely balance of herself as she has been all season. And yeah, this was overall sweet. It was sweet. I mean, I don't think there was any wow factor for me in this episode. It was just an episode I'd like chillax and enjoy. A bit like the premiere, so this will probably be a 4 from me, but it's one of the highest 4s, trust me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about this episode. I liked it. I almost loved it. There's nothing wrong with it, not at all, but I think in terms of general way I see and enjoy an episode, it's a nice solid fun. I like it. It's good. Rarity and the others were being adorable. There was good character comedy. That legendary reference to too many Pinkies that also subtly implied that there might be another one. Like, tell me if that's a throwaway joke or not, Asbro, please. Because you're going to toy with me here. Because I always saw that original episode as murder of sentient beings. Because the first Pinkie clone showed capability for learning. And then she was able to teach the other Pinkies her friends' names. And they were able to cry and have emotions for themselves. And, you know, it doesn't sit with me. It doesn't. Because I quite agree with that picture that shows a very dark interpretation of the Pinkies going back into the pond, which is Twilight with the dark crazed look in her eye and a room full of bloodied Pinkies holding a pistol and looking menacingly towards a Pinkie that's crying because she can't handle everything. And that's what happened. I believe that. It was just, let's murder them all till there's one left. Even though there's a chance we'll kill the real one. It just doesn't sit right. It just doesn't. But yeah, the show staff themselves have confirmed that that wasn't the case. They were just magic with the, illusion of being real. You know, it was like, we didn't kill anything. You know, it was a bit like Doctor Who, when Amy was terrified because the Doctor had to kill her, but it wasn't really her. It was a projection of herself because the real Amy was being captive somewhere and unconscious, but she was real and feeling emotions and stuff, but she wasn't real, and so she had to die. And of course that terrified the poor thing, but the Doctor wasn't even sure if he was right or not, and it seemed like that same sort of dilemma for the Pinkies, and it made me uncomfortable. But anyway, that's far off the beaten path, but I've said all I wanted to say about this episode. It was lovely, and I won't mind watching loads of other reactions to it. But for now, I will see you guys next time.